Hi everyone, in this video we will discuss 5 different ways of stacking sequence of different sizes. So let's say we have this set of numbers here and as a result we want this array. Right, so let's say here our first number is 3 and in our result we want a sequence of 1, 2, 3. Then our next number is 4. So below this sequence we want to stack this sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4. And next we have 3. So again stack sequence of 1, 2, 3. And last we have 2. So again we have 1 and 2 here. Now this thing we want to do with the help of formulas. So let's see how we can do this in 5 different ways. So let's move on to our first approach. And here we have this set of numbers. And as our first step we will calculate running total, and for that we will use a scan function. So equals to scan, and let's say our initial value is 0 and our array is this array, comma, and our function will be lambda, and let's denote previous and current value by x comma y, and we have to do x plus y. Close the brackets, press enter, and we have done running total. Now we will generate a sequence of the number of rows that we are going to have in our final result. So that will be max of this running total, right? Or you can do sum of this particular set of numbers, right? So let's close the brackets and we have this sequence. Now we will use xmatch function. So xmatch, and our lookup value will be this array of sequence. Our lookup array will be this running total array, and our match mode will be exact match or next larger item, right? Let's close the bracket, press enter, and we have this as a result, correct? Now we will again use xmatch function. So xmatch, and our lookup value will be this array, right, which we generated in last step. Again our lookup array will be this array, and our match mode will be exact match, right? Let's close the bracket, press enter, and we have this sequence. So we are getting closer. So now what we will do, equals to this sequence minus this array, right, and plus 1. So we have successfully generated the results, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. So let's test this by changing this 3 to, let's say, 5. So the resultant array also expanded, and we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, correct? So let's get back by pressing Ctrl Z, and this is the first approach. Now let's move on and let's have a look at second approach. So here we will again require this running total and the sequence. So let's copy this from here and let's paste it in our second solution. So let's paste it here, and now we will use xlookup function. So equals to xlookup, and our lookup value will be this sequence, comma, our lookup array will be this running total, comma, our return array will be this again running total, comma, our match mode will be exact match or next larger item, right? Let's close the bracket, press enter, and we have this as our result. Now what we will do is we will subtract from this array, right, in which we used xlookup function. We will subtract this sequence, and let's also do plus 1 here. So let's press enter, and we have this as a result. So this is not as per what we wanted. This is just the opposite, right? So here it is like 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, right? So we have to sort this. So how we can sort this? So equals to sort by, and our array will be this array because we wanted to sort this array, comma, by array will be this array, right, in which we used xlookup function, comma, sort order will be ascending order, comma, our by array 2 will be again this array, right? So our sort order 2 will be again ascending order. So we will use 1 here. Let's close the bracket, press enter, and we have generated our results. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and again we have 1, 2. So let's test this. Let's change this 4 here to, let's say, 5, right? So we have our results 1, 2, 3, again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. So this is our second approach. Now let's move on to our third approach. So here again we will use xlookup function, and for that also we will require these two formulas again, this sequence and running total. So let's copy that from here, and let's paste it here. So we have running totals and our sequence here. So now we will use XLOOKUP function, so equals to XLOOKUP, and our lookup value will be this sequence, comma, our lookup array will be this running total and +1, right? Our return array will be again this running total, comma, let's ignore this if not found parameter for now, comma, and our match mode will be this exact match or next smaller item. So let's select this, close the bracket, press enter, and we have this as a result. Now let's say here we do equals to this array minus this array, right, in which we used XLOOKUP function, and let's press enter. So we have here partially got our results. So we have except this for this first number we have our result. So 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 and 1 2, correct? So in place of this if not found, let's pass 0 and we have our complete result. So again 1 2 3, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 and again 1 2, correct? So this is again the third approach that we used. Now let's move on and let's have a look at another approach, and this will now not involve the use of those running totals and sequence. So now what we will do, we will use make array function. So this time equals to make array, and our number of rows will be again the rows that we have in our original data, right, comma, and our columns, number of columns will be again the max of this particular range, correct? Let's close the bracket, comma, and our function will be lambda, and let's say we denote rows by x and columns by y, and we want to see in our result the columns, right? So we will write y here. Let's close the brackets, press enter, and we have this as a resultant array. Now we will compare all these numbers against this set of values. So let's say in our first row we want 1 2 3, we want to omit 4, right? In our second row we want to have all these numbers 1 2 3 4. In our third row we want to have again 1 2 3, and in our fourth row we want to have 1 and 2. So what we will do, we will use a comparison operator, so equals to, and let's compare this array, and what we want is less than equal to these particular values. Press enter, and we have these trues and false. Again we have true 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 and false here. True for all the values in second row, true for only 3 values, and true for only 2 values in our fourth row. Now we will use if function. So if this is true, we want back these numbers, else we want any error, right? And let's close the bracket, press enter, we have this result. And now we will simply use toCall function, so equals to toCall, and let's pass this as our array, comma, and let's use this ignore blanks and errors, right? Close the bracket, press enter, and we have this as a result. So again 1 2 3, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 and 1 2. Let's test this. So let's say we change this 3 here to 5, right? So we have again successfully generated our result, and our result also got updated. Now let's have a look at our final approach, and this is just really amazing. This is the shortest of all the 4 approaches that we discussed earlier. So here we will use reduce function, reduce with vstack function, right? So we will use equals to reduce, and our initial value is, let's say 0, you can pass anything, comma, our array will be this array, comma, our function will be lambda, and let's denote previous value by x and current value by y, right? Now what will reduce function do? So let's say here we only use sequence function, and let's pass in our parameter, in our rows parameter, let's say we pass y here. So let's close the brackets and let's press enter. So what reduce function is doing here, it is only giving us result for this final value here, right? Not for all, not stacking a sequence for all these values, correct? It is only giving us this sequence for this last value, that is 2 here. So let's say we change this to 5 here, so we are getting sequence of 5 numbers here. Now what we want is, we want to stack all these previous sequences as well. So for that we will use vstack function. So we will use vstack, right? And we will stack the result of our previous operation that we did, comma, and we want to stack it with the operation that we are doing on our current value, right? So let's close the brackets. And let's press enter. So we have got our results, right? Only one thing needs to be altered here, and rest all things are at their place. So now what is happening here? So initially the value of x is this 0 here that we passed here, right? So let's say we change this initial value to, let's say, a here, right? So in double quotes a, and we are going to see a here, correct? This is going to happen. Now why this is happening? So let's change this to 0 here again. So initially the value of x is 0, and this y is the current value that we are taking from the array that we passed, correct? Now here the value of x initially is 0, and we have generated sequence for y, that the current value of y is 3. So we have generated sequence of 3. Now in our next step, this sequence of 3 will be our value of x, correct? So now at our second step, our value of x will be this sequence of 1 2 3, and our y will be again that 4, right? The second number in our set of data. Now it will stack, it will do v stack on x, that is our x was 1 2 3, that sequence of 1 2 3, and it will stack it with the sequence of that 1 2 3 4, right? So now in the third step, the value of x will be sequence of 1 2 3 stacked with sequence of 1 2 3 4, right? And again y will be 3, and this again this will stack this x with sequence of 1 2 3 again, and in the final step the value of x will be sequence of 3 4 and 3 stacked together, and this value of y will be 2. What v stack will do, it will stack that x with the sequence of current value, that is 2, right? So finally we have this result, right? And we want to remove this 0 from here. So what we will do, we will use drop function here. So drop, and we want to drop one row here, right? Let's close the bracket, press enter, and we have this as a result. So let's check this, and let's do this by changing this to 5, and we have got our results updated. So that's it for this video. I hope you would like this video, and if you do, please do hit the like button, and please do subscribe the channel if you want more such videos in future. So the problem that we solved in this video, that is stacking sequence of different sizes, definitely has many use cases, and we will discuss one of the use cases in upcoming 1 or 2 videos, right? So stay tuned for that video as well. So thanks a lot, and hope to see you in more such upcoming videos. Thank you.